You know she's getting filled by some black stud. You know there's some black fucking bull that's just filling her with cock meat, giving her the real fuck she deserves. Some big black bull just filling her with cock meat.
All right, folks, how we doing tonight? How are we all doing tonight? Oh lordy, we got some stuff we can watch tonight. We got some stuff to watch tonight. One of these is an old thing I'd forgotten about, but I was just reminded of it because just a few minutes ago, somebody replied to my comment on it. This is from over a year ago, but we might watch that in a little bit. It should be fun. I don't want to spoil it, but I think it should be some fun cringe. But first, we are gonna watch. We're gonna watch a little Fox News right now. You all ready for that? We're gonna watch a little fucking Fox News. From one of my suspended Twitter accounts. Let's see. Windows capture. Here we go. So, Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity had a little exchange the other night. Tucker Carlson's on at 8 and Sean Hannity's on at 9, and they have the little, and you know, they're all live, and they have the little trade-off segment. And right before that, Tucker had done a segment on Jeff Bezos, the guy that owns Amazon, and how, you know, as the country was being economically run into the dirt, Jeff Bezos in a single day made $13 billion. From what I understand, not even Amazon, Jeff Bezos himself made that in a single day. That's nice work if you can get it. So Tucker and his guest were sort of sitting around going, what the fuck? Why the fuck is this happening? Why is Jeff Bezos making $13 billion? While the country is falling apart. A reasonable question to ask. But this led to a little exchange. Now, the Daily Caller here, which is, of course, Ben Shapiro's little thing. The Daily Caller is praising how Hannity handled this, but most other people, Hannity himself, is not, as we'll see in a little bit. But let's go ahead and play this. Let me make sure we got okay, everything's good. Cowardly the Dog real quick says, who would you trust least, Patton Oswalt looking after your wife or Bob Chipman with any sort of government power? Bob Chipman with any sort of government power is just about the most dangerous thing I can possibly imagine. So let that answer your question. But let's go ahead and play this. This is their, and remember, this is their live, you know, hey buddy, how you doing? That was a great show you had. Yes, thank you. I hope you have a great show too. You know, that's that sort of segment here.
So, congratulations. Beyond our capability. Have a great night. And now, Sean Hannity takes over from New York.
People can make money. They provide goods and services people want, need, and desire. That's America. It's called freedom, capitalism.
Look at Tucker. Oh, look at the look on Tucker's face. It's great. Look at him. And he like looks off like he's talking to an intern or one of his staff members. He's like, is this motherfucker serious right now? Tucker is so good at that look. He's so good at looking at you like you're the dumbest piece of shit on the planet. Oh. Yes, that chat. That's right. Regis Philbin died. We'll probably talk about that a little bit later. He seemed like a decent guy. I mean, Hollywood, you never know. You know, maybe he was fucking babies to death on Epstein's Island. But I never really got a whiff of that with him. He seemed like a pretty classy stand-up guy.
Called freedom, capitalism, and as long as it's honest, right? People decide. All right, Tucker, great show. Welcome to Hannity. This is now.
So perfect. Like Tucker kind of looks off to the side as
All
they
right,
pan
Tucker,
away.
great show.
Hang on.
Welcome to
They're looking off to the side like, is this motherfucker serious?
Hannity. This is now.
So, congratulations. Beyond our capability. Have a great night. And now, Sean Hannity takes over from New York.
People can make money. They provide goods and services people want, need, and desire. That's America. It's called freedom, capitalism, and as long as it's honest, right? People decide. All right, Tucker, great show. Welcome to Hannity. This is now.
So.
Oh, Lordy. It is really amazing how Sean Hannity seems to still think it's like 1999. But that's a conservative for you. That is conservatism in a nutshell. Just always fucking behind. NC Clark says Bezos owns the Washington Post. Why the fuck would Sean support him? Because he's a fucking moron. That's why. It's America. Yeah, you know what? Look, I love fucking capitalism, free market, all that great shit. All right. But if capitalism means that, Mark Zuckerberg gets to shoot me because I'm breathing his air, I think maybe it needs reined in a little bit. Okay. Like maybe maybe there's a couple of rules we can have. Oh. But I don't even think I need to have that discussion with my, come on, no one here. What is interesting, actually I'm going to go back in the screen share real quick. What is interesting is, now this is the Daily Caller, was all like, yeah, Sean sure showed that Tucker guy. Sean's a good guy. Well, Sean Hannity didn't quite agree. Sean Hannity, he's trying to walk this back. He goes, I was reiterating Tucker's point on not being versus capitalism. I was in the chair 1 minute before airtime, and I was specifically responding to the end of Tucker's interview, which he said is part of honest capitalism. I had not heard any other part of the interview, which I don't believe. I was very clear I support capitalism. If someone is honestly providing goods and services people want, need, and desire, I'm fine with that. If they capitalize on tragedy, that's a different issue, and I was very clear. And no, you weren't. I've seen no evidence of that, but if I do, watch out. What the fuck are you going to do, you cuck? I apologize for any misunderstanding to Tucker and the Fox audience. I support freedom and capitalism, not people taking advantage of a pandemic. If I see evidence, I will obviously condemn. If. A couple of things. First of all, Hannity's a fucking hypocrite. With all his free market, I'm a private company, do whatever they want. If we were talking about somebody that did something Hannity flat out did not approve of, he would not have that attitude. If Hannity's a bit of a moral fag, so I'll use it as an example. If we were talking about a pornographer, he would not have that attitude. Hell, even somebody producing rap music or something else that Hannity's boomer ass would clutch his pearls over, he would not have that attitude. You know it. I know it. This fat, sleeping retard dog over here knows it. So let's just fucking admit that, okay? Fucking hypocrite in that regard. There are a handful of times he would not be sucking the corporate dick. If it just happens to upset his sensibilities. Domino Mortis, I'm late. Can you start the show over? Okay, let's run the music. Domino Mortis says we got to start. Start over. That's right, chat. Government also helped Google rise to supremacy and still giving them taxpayer money. And look, I'm not even necessarily for busting unions apart. I'm not unions. I meant monopolies. Busting monopolies apart. There is a sense in which I feel like we're punishing the winner doing that. But when you are a monopoly, you got to act a certain way. You got to act with a certain level of responsibility. And all this bullshit of, censoring voices they don't like and trying to squish out the little guy, trying to, be an artificial monopoly, as it were. If you're a monopoly merely because, the market only really needs one of you, that's one thing. But When he says, in unrelated news, Lana Del Rey got really fucking fat. Well, that's a shame. I mean, last I saw her, I definitely would. But can't speak to it now. But yeah, Hannity, again, there's the hypocrisy element of it. Because if he didn't approve of it, he would not be, like conservatives always are, small government, except when they're not. That's always conservatives. They're always forced, whenever you actually need them to help you, the common man who voted for them, then they throw their hands up and say, can't help you, small government. But when it comes to sticking their nose in your business over bullshit, like take weed, for example. Oh, yeah, conservatives are all about states' rights until a state legalizes weed, and then we're going to send in the troops. So they're fucking hypocrites, all right? They hide behind small government. They hide behind my constitution, my freedom, all that other shit, when they don't want to help you. And the other aspect of this, and I'm not the first person to point this out, but it is pretty blatantly obvious, is, look, Sean Hannity, if you've watched him for any length of time, and I have. I mean, I've watched him since, good God, late 90s. He likes to swing his dick around, as the saying goes. He likes to be the paper alpha. He likes to beat his chest. And he sat on Fox News for literal decades, waiting for Bill O'Reilly to get the fuck out of there. Waiting for Bill O'Reilly to retire. Bill O'Reilly was the big dog on network. Hannity sat in the back, and his turn was next. When Bill O'Reilly left, Sean Hannity was going to be the big dog on that network. And a whole bunch of other people had came on that network over the years and outshined him. For a while, Glenn Beck outshined him by going on there and ripping off Alex Jones's stick. Right now, Tucker is outshining him, outperforming him in the ratings in a big way. Hannity is old news. He doesn't understand the current political climate. He's still very much stuck in years, if not decades ago, of a mindset. His audience is nothing but a dwindling group of boomers at this point. Sean Hannity is waiting for Rush Limbaugh to succumb to cancer so he can try to be the big voice on the right. It's not going to happen for you, Sean. And by the way, if you ever listen to Sean Hannity's radio show, well, let me put it this way. If you ever want to listen to Rush Limbaugh's radio show and you miss it, you can just listen to Sean Hannity's and get a shittier version of it. It is amazing. Because my old job a few years ago, I used to listen to talk radio a lot. It was something I could have on that wasn't music. You get sick of music after a while. And Hannity would sometimes be beat for beat exactly Rush's show. The exact same talking points on the exact same stories, sometimes in the exact same order. Only not as good because Hannity isn't as bright or as charismatic as Rush. And Hannity may be, I guess you'd say the I don't know. He might be the most well promoted of the major talk show hosts out there, but even to this day, having been chased off of numerous radio stations, Savage still routinely beats him in the ratings. Any market where Savage and Hannity are up against each other, because I believe they're live at the same time with one another. I believe Savage is live 3 to 6. Or noon to 3. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 3 to 6. But I remember reading somewhere that Hannity, and this was years ago, so it could have changed, that Savage routinely beats Hannity. Savage was, for at least a while, the number 2 talk radio show in the country, only after Rush. Although, if you count internet streaming, usually Alex Jones is right around Rush's level. So he says, was Hannity a never Trumper? Hannity was one of those guys that was just like, I don't care. Just stop It's the Stop Hillary Express. Country music plays. That was Sean Hannity's show the entirety of the 2016 election. He was going to line up behind anybody who fucking won. The only Republican Sean Hannity never would have lined up behind would have been Ron Paul. Because, Ron Paul doesn't want to bomb brown people for Israel. Trump really doesn't either, but he at least, he's not as adamant against it. And, in all fairness, Rush was that way too, where it was, anybody but Hillary kind of thing. But Rush, he talked about, all these candidates are good, but he very clearly preferred Cruz. And Hannity kind of did too, but they weren't, adamant about it. They weren't losing their shit like Glenn Beck. But yeah, I honestly think it's sort of that. I think Hannity lost his shit there and thought he was going to score points against Tucker because he probably doesn't like the fact that, who the fuck is this guy who used to wear a bow tie and he's coming on my network and outshining me? I'm sure he doesn't like that. Matt Forney in the chat talking about Terror House has 2 Amazon bestsellers in a row. Yeah, they might be publishing My Gentle Femdom erotica here soon. It's a very tasteful story of it's set in a Pokemon universe, training a Bulbasaur. It's very tasteful. I think you all love it. Somebody in the chat. Difference is I can still listen to Rush for short periods. Hannity is boomer shrill gerbil. Oh, Hannity's show is ass. Yeah, Hannity is not, but I called into Hannity once years ago. I want to say 2012. I was in between jobs, and trust me, everyone who calls into those shows must be in between jobs because how else would you have hours to sit on hold to talk to a stranger? But yeah, all that time when they're playing commercials and shit, Hannity, when you're leaving here in the live feed, Hannity is playing the shittiest fucking country music. I mean, I hate country music to begin with, but holy crap. Somebody in chat, how's your writing project going, your time off? Pretty good. I made good progress. I didn't get it done. I was hoping I might be able to get it done, but, I had a lot of fucking things distracting me, including the destruction of my car. Let's see. So he says, I'm waiting to get on that book. Honestly, guys, I talk about it, there's a reason I ain't giving a lot of details about it. If I get this done, and if Terror House decides to publish it, I'm not using my name. I'm going to use a pen name. I'm not really going to promote it on the show or anything. It's going to be a separate thing. It really is. Because the thing about it is, if I'm writing something, I'm not necessarily writing it because I want to, somebody I used to do, I'm not going to fart out a book just so I can put author on my Twitter bio, as it were. That's not the plan. It's something I hope people find entertaining and, makes me a buck or two, but I'm not necessarily looking for the attention. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's Terror House could publish that shit tomorrow, and I wouldn't be talking about it on this show. The butt naked guy, Tom Z, says, I'll sell it on my Etsy page. There you go. NYT best-selling author. That's right, chat. I just want to write a book so I can put author on my Twitter bio. fucking Arini. Like, I'm a science fiction author. Okay. Author, filmmaker, documentary maker, crowdsource scammer, super genius, closeted homo. That's right, chat. That's right. I mean, in all fairness, he's bi. Let's not spread false news. No fake news here. You're not gonna publish a dystopian fanfic based on the Pokemon universe. F. Scott Bulbasaur. That's right. You found my pen name. F. Scott Bulbasaur. It's gonna be this huge, thick book. As I catch these broken Bulbasaurs. But yeah, it's not, it's not something I'm gonna be on here like, guys, you gotta read my book. Sell it to my 30 listeners and no one else. Like, no, I'm not. If Terror House publishes it, Forney's got a good up and coming publisher. George R.R. Bulbasaur, that's right. But no, it's not something I'd be on here like, guys, you got to read my new book. Did I mention I got a book? Change my Facebook profile picture to the cover of the book. Just as I'm at the box factory, just looking around like, guys, did you know I am a published author? I sold copies to my 15 fucking listeners on YouTube. And now I'm a science fiction author. Get the fuck out of here. It'd be like like how in right-wing conservative circles and all, they write books mostly as fucking money laundering schemes. I swear that's what they do. Like, I heard the theory that that's what goes on. That's why, like, every talk radio host and every, like, fucking empty skirt or fucking empty suit, as Savage used to call him on Fox News, like, farts out a book that no one reads. And, like, then, like, you donate money to this or that think tank and they send you a free copy of this book and stuff like that. It's like, and all those books end up, like, fucking 30 to 50% off on at the bookstore in, like, a year. Like, nobody... You like, occasionally one of them breaks out into the bestsellers, but for the most part, this is just, like, it's gotta be. There's got to be some sort of fucking money laundering scheme with a lot of this shit. Because every one of these groups, like, if you send some more money to the NRA today, we'll send you this book by Fox News analyst you've never heard of called Guns Are Good. It's just them standing there on the cover with their arms crossed and like a fucking smug look on their face as they're leaning up against the title of the book. Guns are good, liberals bad. And it's just, it's the same thing in a fucking Christian circle. Like, God. You hear some author tell you everything that's in their fucking book about how to raise kids to love Jesus, and they're like on focus on the family. And it's like, yeah, my book is about raising kids to love Jesus. If they say they don't like Jesus, you just pop them right in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? And the author's like, and the host would be like, yeah, that's good. All right, well, this has been a great program. If you send a $30 donation to Focus on the Family today, we will send you this free book. If your kids say they don't like Jesus, pop them in the mouth. And it's like, first of all, this isn't me giving you, this isn't I donated to you and then you gave me a book. It was a free gift. No, I bought a book from you for $30. Let's fucking call this what it is. I'll send you the book by Glenn Beck. Shit. Or you could go to fucking Ollie's Bargain Outlet and pull get one of the books. They're making a fucking fort out of it. There, like Glenn Beck. Oh. Matt Forney says that is in fact what they do. Books are used as promotion for the Heritage Foundation. That's right, Chad. In my book, you'll learn my secrets to achieving. What you do is you write a book full of a bunch of bullshit, and you convince idiots that. Like I said, I want to write something because I have a story in my head, and I just want to tell it, and hopefully people find it entertaining. I'm not sitting here. I'm not looking for, attention. I'm not looking for everybody to suck my dick. I hope people find it entertaining. I hope I make a couple of bucks off of it. That's it. Go to Used Book Barn. You'll find all the conservative books for 50 cents. No shit, man. Honestly, though, like, a lot of it doesn't even make sense. Because think about it, like, okay, let's say you're listening to Michael Savage, right? And I like Savage's show, by the way. One of the reasons I like Savage's show is that I don't always know what he's going to say. I don't always know what his position's going to be on something. There's times I think he's full of shit. I'm but down there yelling at the fucking radio, like, oh, you dumb fucking son of a bitch. But it's at least engaging. You know what I mean? Whereas somebody like Hannity is fucking damn near robotic. I could tell you every position Hannity's going to have on any fucking issue or any fucking story before he says it. You know? So he says the Rush Revere books are like $4 a piece at Job Lot. Oh, that's the kid's book. Well, at least Rush is writing like a kid's book. Like, that makes some sense. But what really doesn't make sense to me is like okay, Michael Savage, he's going to be like, here's my new book. And he's put out a bunch of them. And the only one I thought was kind of interesting was he did one called The Political Zoo, and they were like old-style political cartoons making fun of different people and all. That was at least an interesting read. I got that one discounted too. I found that in a bargain bin. But it was at least not, if nothing else for the visual cartoons, it was at least not the same thing I hear on his show all the time. By and large, it's like, oh, here's my book on what I think about immigration. Well, you never shut the fuck up about it. You talk about it all the time on your fucking show, Michael. In fact, to your credit, you have been long before other people were talking about it. I already know what the fuck you think about it. What do I need to sit down and, what am I taking a test? What do I need to sit here and fucking have a fucking, like, I don't get that. Like, it's like, do you listen to my show every day at work? Well, would you like to read a book where I wrote all the stuff you already heard me say? Like, not particularly. What about O'Reilly's historical novels? I don't know, but I know boomers eat that shit up. Even my dad's gotten a few of those. I never fucking liked Bill O'Reilly, so, like, on a personal level, he just strikes me as the spider sense goes off with Bill O'Reilly. So, so he says, I listened to AM talk radio for the first time in 4+ years. I tuned out during the first commercial break with all the ads were targeted towards boomers, hip replacements, selling your timeshare, etc. Yeah, the other thing, like, take the Revenge of the Sith guys. I like those guys, and they actually have a reasonably professional setup. They do that for a living. They make all their money off of it. Lately they're blaming internet failures, but lately they've taken a lot of days off here these last couple weeks. But people take days off, whatever. Point is, they sit down for 2 hours every weekday at a set amount of time, and they have one commercial break. They have one fucking break so they can run and take a piss or whatever they got to do. You look at AM talk radio. Now I realize part of that is the nature of the medium and all, but I they I haven't crunched the numbers in a while, but it's basically just a little over an hour of actual content those guys do in a 3 hour fucking time slot. And this is another reason why guys like Alex Jones fucking eat, and you know, you could point to Revenge of the Sis even, they fucking eat their lunch with everybody but boomers. It's not just like the stigma that people don't want to listen to AM, because when I'm in the car, that's still a lot more convenient than pulling out my phone and trying to, you know, fucking put YouTube on, and then I gotta, you know, maybe I can hook my phone up to my radio. Sometimes you got the USB cord on you. Sometimes you just turn the radio off and it's playing out of your phone or something. Like, I've listened to like Revenge of the Sis when I was driving before when they were live. But that's a lot more of a pain in the ass than just tuning on the AM radio. But the point is, for everybody but boomers, these things all still just beat this shit out because it's just better content. And it's more content. I mean, you know, not to suck my own dick, but election night 2016, I did a nearly 8-hour stream. You know, and what, I went to the bathroom like twice in that or something. You know, take a piss real quick, get a drink kind of thing. But there was no commercial breaks. I think we might have had a sponsor that I real quick did a live read for. I can't remember, but that's it. Oh, no, I will say, okay, Jordan Owen did a pre-recorded segment with us that we played for a half an hour. So he says, I couldn't stand Limbaugh until the Monica Lewinsky story turned out to be true and all the mainstream news sources stonewalled it. I vaguely remember, and I was still pretty young. This would have been like probably 94 or 95. I was just old enough to be somewhat aware of politics, but not like heavily into it. That I remember Rush Limbaugh had a fucking TV show. And he was like sort of comedic too. So he says, your election night stream was when I first learned about Trump's victory. I remember jumping out of my chair when PA turned red. I called it too on PA. I remember Razorfist was on. He's like, no, I don't think PA will turn red. I'm like, no, trust me, I'm here. PA's going red. Because everybody thought of PA as like a blue state for a long time. Because it had gone blue many times. But it has always been very, very close. And it's still close. It wouldn't take much for it to swing back blue. So he says, I remember your election night stream, how things have changed. Rini was there and seemed to be getting his life on track. Well, sorry that didn't work out for him. By the way, people think I hate Davis. I really don't. I honestly feel bad for Davis. I find him fascinating on a psychological level. He's a fascinating psychological case. But he really is a man who's almost 40 who is genuinely trapped in the mindset of a 14-year-old. You know. And I know, like, on the surface you would say, well, Beckhoff, you're the one that likes comic books and video games and all this immature childish stuff. And Davis is the adult and he pretends to speak Latin. And all. Well, that's the point, though. Like, Davis is obsessed with looking adult, but not fucking acting it. I mean, the guy just won't hold down a job. And that's fucking sad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, it's funny, and we laugh, and all that, and, you know, it's the internet. I mean, I'm gonna fucking goof on you. It's what we do on the internet, you know? it's sad, man. Like, I certainly don't have my life together like I'd like. But, I mean, I have a job. And if I were to lose that job, I would, even in this economy, I would get another job. I mean, I don't have a car right now, but I'll get another one. I'll figure it out. You know? It just... I don't know. It's sad, really. It's almost like he really doesn't understand like where he is and where he's headed. It's a shame. So he says, I'll never not find people like Davis and Movie Bob fascinating because of cautionary tales they represent. Oh yeah, there is that aspect of it, and I mean, obviously, you know, he's very boring, Davis, but he's also in some regards very fascinating. Because he just doesn't get it. It's not a good place to be. Just remember, Beckloff, at least you're not Davis or Movie Bob. That's always something to be thankful for, I suppose. What else did I want to talk about tonight? Oh, that's right. I had a video we could watch. I was just sitting here bullshitting so much, and we got a video. This is from 2018, almost 2 years ago now. And it's something called Entertainment News, and they're discussing a game called Angry Goy 2, and they were not happy about it. And it's on a channel called It's Happening Out. And this video did not have a good like to dislike ratio. It also didn't have a lot of views, but nonetheless, I think it's kind of interesting. I think Angry Goy 2 was made by Christopher Cantwell, if memory serves. Somebody says, I just played Castlevania 2 for the first time and beat it. You're right, it's a pretty underrated game. It is very underrated. It's not as bad as people say. I mean, I get it. It's way too fucking cryptic. And there's stuff in there that just, you know, no kid was going to find without, you know, lottery winning luck and or a guide. But at the same time, I mean, the music is bitchin'. The gameplay I find is generally pretty fun. I mean, like, the challenge comes from figuring it out, which you could say is even more unfair challenge than the balls ass hardness of the first game. But it's a game that once you know what you're doing, you know, I genuinely like playing through it. I have it on the 3DS eShop. I have it on my 3DS as a downloadable game, and I've played through it a couple of times now. But anyways, let's watch this video because this is funny. Move this here. This is Entertainment News Happening Out.
We're going to catch you up quickly on some entertainment news.
And I'm back.
First, we want to tell you about some of the things that are going on in entertainment. First, there's a new killer game called Angry Goy 2. Now, we give you a warning. We're going to show you a preview of this, but it is highly disturbing. This is a new video.
It's highly disturbing. There are things in this video that are disturbing. I don't know if the game is one of them, though.
Video game that you play that you use a flamethrower or a machine gun. Created by Christopher Cantwell. It has become very popular in Gab, which is the alt-right Twitter, basically, He calls himself the crying Nazi. And before we tell you about it, we want to...
In all fairness, I don't think he calls himself that. I think that's more a name other people thrust upon him. I mean, he might have just ran with it eventually rather than try to fight it. Because sometimes you got to do that with your embarrassing moments. You got to just be like, fine, whatever. I'm the crying Nazi. But I think that's more a name other people gave him.
show you this video, but again, we caution you, this is highly disturbing.
Game looks like fun. So it's sort of like Bad Dudes. Are you bad? The president needs your help.
Fuck Trump. We're clear. Fuck you, Nazi. I'm a journalist. Oh.
Okay, that's fucking hilarious. I disavow, though. I disavow. That's terrible. Who would laugh at such a thing?
I'm a journalist. Oh.
Right,
Racist.
Is this country going to be dominated and run by the white Christians?
Well, as you can see, the game is quite...
Oh, that's quite the panel we got here. Oh, that's quite the panel.
It's quite offensive, and it is newsworthy because...
It's offensive. I love this I love it's. I am old enough to still be amazed hearing these fucking degenerate leftists. You know, oh, we're taking on the system, moral fagging about stuff being offensive. It's amazing how much they became the very thing they sought to destroy.
Entertainment news, because it's getting quite a bit of download play. When you play the game, it is a choice of a machine gun or a flamethrower that kills people. And as you kill them, the victims scream. And it's really an all offenders opportunity. If you're a journalist, the journalist as they're killed yells that they're a journalist. If you're a woman, she yells the Me Too movement. If you're black, the black person yells Black Lives Matter, or where are the white women at?
I believe the line is, where the white women at? Okay.
If you're a nationalist, it says white oppressors must be destroyed. For Jews, there are so many references I can't even tell you. And for gay, it takes place in a bathhouse. And there are signs outside the bathhouse saying, we welcome children and NAMBLA meetings are here. And inside the bathhouse, all of the gay characters are flying rainbow flags and have erections.
Oh, man. I can't believe this didn't win Game of the Year at the Game Awards.
Killed in the game by flamethrowers or machine guns, the gay characters in the game are yelling, bake my cake, I have AIDS, butt sex is a human right, you messed with the wrong bug chaser, I was born this way.
I just love sitting there. Like, they just can't fucking... The real fucking thing that just floors me is that these counterculture people, they're like, you know, what, like this fucking guy over here, you know, he'd be like, what's the matter? Am I bothering you with how I'm challenging your system and all this other dumb shit? It's like, and then they just can't take a joke. They can't take a fucking joke. They are every bit like as fragile as the worst stereotype of a Christian that just can't stand the fact that they exist. It really is amazing what moral fags they are. No pun intended.
Relating to Lady Gaga and more. What do y'all generally think about a game like this?
I think it's absolutely disgusting. First of all,
It's absolutely disgusting. I think it's absolutely disgusting. This motherfucker over here looks like Dennis Rodman if he got all 7 Chaos Emeralds. And what's he talking about? I think he wants to talk about it. I think it's absolutely disgusting. This fucking Star Trek alien over here wants to lecture me on what the fuck is disgusting.
I hope in that bathhouse segment that it ain't they're not hitting or targeting Club Fort Lauderdale, because leave that one out.
Yeah, let's have some class, huh?
But I have a question. So this guy Christopher Cantwell, he's alt-right. That's
By the way, fun fact: there's a Doctor Doom comic book out. I don't know. It might have wrapped up already, but it was pretty good, at least for a while there. But it's literally written by Christopher Cantwell. I'm not making that up. Not this Christopher Cantwell, but another person named Christopher Cantwell. I thought that was so fucking funny when I saw it. I actually, I know like Terror House Twitter like I put a picture of it out there, and then Terror House Twitter was like, so does Doctor Doom stick meth up his ass and then rat out his fellow villains to the Avengers?
conservative, right? Of course.
Well, games are supposed to be an expression, just like any other art.
Fuck, of course, there's conservatives. Why is this man wearing a fucking polo shirt made of tinfoil? I thought gays were supposed to have good fashion sense.
And in that way, I do respect that this is pushing buttons in some way. But all it's doing for gaming as a whole is...
Okay, I'll give this I'll give Suspenders over here a little bit of credit, because at least he's like, I can respect the fact that it's pushing buttons. Like, yeah, that's the point. Okay, it's trying to get a rise out of you. If you'll pardon the expression.
is making more people think that games are violent and it leads to more violence, because it's not absolutely the case at all. I play video games all the time, and I grew up with parents that were hippies, yet I still can't even let bugs die in a pool. But to see something like this as...
He prefers to chase them. I'm sorry, I can't. I just... Oh, man.
A form of entertainment. I will not be playing it. It's not something I would condone for other people, but there must be some level of self-expression that is still helpful for others in some way, I think, maybe, possibly.
Okay, you said nothing. That was very helpful. So he said there's two Christopher Cantwells. There is a Christopher Cantwell that is a writer from Marvel Comics. Last I checked, he was writing the Doctor Doom ongoing series. It's Richard Spencer, the boss of the bathhouse level. I don't know, Chad. I haven't I haven't looked into that yet. Oh.
I just want to say in general, and we're not going to talk very much about it, I think both points are reasonable, unless you have something to add.
One, I think, unfortunately, it's freedom of the press. But
Speech.
two, a speech. Sorry. Freedom.
Yes, unfortunately, freedom of speech. That pesky freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. But two is, you also have to look at a lot of the other, honestly, gory games that are played, that you can choose who you want to shoot, and people play act who they are, and it's just really gore, and it dehumanizes individuals. So regardless of that one or some of the other games.
Thank you, Boomer Birdcage over here. Man. Well, let's check out the comments, chat. Again, this was a year. I remember I commented, but let's see who else was commenting. Well, there was my line. The thing on the left looks like Dennis Rodman if it got all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Oy vey, the Straits know. Shut it down. Channel should be renamed Weimar News. Let's see. I found the game very fun. Me and all my friends are playing it. Everyone at school is talking about it. Just imagine the smell of that room. Ooh. Is this video a parody? I am very confused. Is this some sort of infomercial? What is that yellow thing? Thanks for the free publicity. I wasn't aware of this game till now. Looks pretty fun. 2018 Game of the Year. Looking forward to the DLC. Olivier, shut it down. Let's see. This show is why people are joining the alt-right. Some of the diseases they have, the doctors just don't know. I'm cracking up as he goes down the list of NPC dialogue. I know, it was pretty funny. Better than Call of Duty. I screamed when the camera zoomed out and showed that thing on the left. Well, that gets a like right there. It's like watching the Koopa family review Super Mario Brothers 3. Ah. 305 is peak irony. I think that's when they said it's disgusting.
And more. What do y'all generally think about a game like this?
I think it's absolutely disgusting. First of all,
that is peak irony. There's no getting around that. Oh. Oh, Lordy. Only freedom for the press. Yeah, indeed. You notice that he said that. Suspenders about to get canceled. Oh, Lordy. So you've reviewed this before? I saw that video a while ago, and I commented on the video. I'm not sure if I remember talking about it on the channel or not. We probably did. I don't remember. It's a Legion of Doom video games reviews. Let's see. It's the presenter in the middle, the same guy who ran the pause parties in the Gift movie. I don't know, chat. I don't know. Oh man, that was fun. So, I'm just about out of shit to talk about. So I tell you what, we're gonna open this up on the Skypes there, as Christopher Cantwell used to say. And if you're on Discord, I guess you can message me on Discord. I'll check that too if somebody messages me. We'll go ahead and set up a Hangouts, and if anyone wants to hop in and BS, we'll do just that. And if not, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Let's see. So anyone wants to message me on the Skype there, I'll give it time in case anybody wants to. I know there's a delay. And we'll take callers if anyone wants to call in. Let's see. Checking the chat. You know what I've been watching a lot of? Speaking of classic cringe, I've been watching a lot of the Jonathan Ross stuff. With you remember the pedophile that Medicare had caught wind of and was covering for a while. But Jonathan Ross is a fascinating case of mental illness. Like, that guy is a absolute perfect storm of mental illnesses, to the point where I'm mildly fascinated just hearing him talk to people, like just hearing the weird mannerisms in his speech and shit. Let's see. Somebody says you'd have a bigger show if you did more show prep. Probably. I mean, I'm not. This is just kind of a hobby for me at this point. I'm not entirely sure I'd even want a bigger show. Well, it doesn't look like anybody wants to call in. So, fuck it. I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Alright, folks, if you enjoy the content, somebody says, I want to hear updates from the people who derided us with the it's just a flu bro garbage. Where are they now? It's obvious they've been lied to about the lockdowns. Yep. Like I said, pardon me. Actually, I had to get up early today, which wasn't happy about. So folks, if you enjoy the content I put out, do consider supporting the show. You know, paypal.me/Beckloff. Page our streamlabs.com/Beckloff. You can send a donation even when I'm not live, and I'll see it when I am live and read it. So that is